Hmm. So a very good morning, good afternoon to one and all. Okay, I am CA Nikita Surana, and I am going to take business laws and business correspondence and reporting for you all. Okay. Now your foundation, CA foundation, as you all know, is having 4 papers. I think you all know that. Yes or no? Your first one is accountancy. Second is business laws and business correspondence and reporting. Your third paper is mathematics and statistics, and your fourth one is economics. So I am going to take second paper. So your second paper is nothing but business laws, business correspondence and reporting. Okay. Now I think everyone has come from your intermediate, right? So you're from your commerce background only, everybody? Commerce background only. So you know what is accountancy, you know maths and stats, you know economics also. This is one subject I think you have no idea about it. Yes or no? Law is something which you're going to study for the first time. Rest all the subjects you have a slight idea of what it is. Everybody. So now because you don't know what is law, it is very good. Now we are going to start from the scratch. First we will understand what is law. We will come to the topics afterwards, but before that, we are going to understand what is that you mean by law. What is this law? Why it is required? First, we are going to understand that, and then we are going to come to the topics. Now, before coming to what is law, before that, let me just tell you about your examination, how it is. Okay? So, as I told you, the name of our paper is Business Laws and Business Correspondence and Reporting. This is your paper 2. All the papers carry 100 marks. Accountancy is for 100 marks. Business laws, business correspondence for 100 marks. Your maths and stats 100 marks. Economics also 100 marks. But this paper, business laws, business correspondence and reporting, is divided into 2 parts. Okay? There are 2 parts. Part A and Part B. And Part B. Your Part A is nothing but business laws, and Part B is nothing but business correspondence and reporting. Your Part A carries 60 marks, Part B carries 40 marks. Okay, so total is nothing but 100 marks. So this paper 2 is also for 100 marks. Now Part A, that is your business laws, is again divided into 5 acts. You obviously you don't know what is an act also. We are going to study that. But before that, I'll just tell you what are the acts that is covered in the syllabus. You have 5 acts. The first act is the Indian Contract Act, Indian Contract Act 1872. Your second act is the Sale of Goods Act 1930. 1930. Your third act is the Indian Partnership Act Straight? Can you, it is visible, right? The Indian Partnership Act 1932. Your fourth act is the Limited Liability Act 2008. And your last act, that is your fifth act, is the Companies Act 2013. Okay, so these are the 5 acts which we are going to cover in your this part 1, that is business laws. So what are the acts that we are going to cover? The Indian Contract Act 1872, the Sale of Goods Act 1930, the Indian Partnership Act 1932, the Limited Liability Act 2008, and the Companies Act 2013. Okay, so we are going to cover all these acts. Now coming to your part B, that is business correspondence and reporting. Business correspondence and reporting was not introduced before. When you had your CPT, it was only business laws. You didn't have this part B of business correspondence and reporting. But afterwards, the institute, ICI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, thought that being a chartered accountant student, you should also be strong in your English, in your communication. They have seen you have knowledge, you are intelligent, you know what is accountancy, you know what is law, you know all the subjects. Subject wise, you are very good, but in communication, you are not good. So you are being backward only. You're not going forward. When you go to big corporates, you also have to give presentations. You have to give what do you say? You have to attend seminars. You have to give presentations. You have to draft letters. You have to draft mails. That is how the communication goes in big corporates. Yes or no? So we were chartered accountancy students were lagging behind in that. So they thought to introduce this at foundation level, and this is only at foundation level. When you go further in your intermediate and your final, you don't have this. Foundation level, they're just giving you brief. It is not that you're going to learn entire English, all grammar, all vocabulary. No. Only limit few topics of grammar you have, few topics of vocabulary you have précis writing, you have resume writing, you have drafting of formal letters. Obviously informal letters is not covered. Why? Because do you need informal letters? Writing letters to friend, writing letters to relatives, is that required for a chartered accountancy? Okay, you may write that. I'm not telling that you'll not write. You write, but you can learn somewhere else. But CA Institute is only going to teach you what? Formal letters, which is going to be used by you in your academics, maybe for your when you go for jobs or you go for practices. That is required. In jobs, you have to communicate with your subordinates or your what do you say, some person who is above you, your boss. And in case of, if you're in practice, you have to communicate with your clients. Okay, and nowadays it is that everything is through mails, through emails, through WhatsApp messages and all. Yes or no? So that is how you write the letters. So that is what is covered in this topic, BCR. That is business correspondence and reporting. Understood everybody? Got this point clear? Okay. So we are going to first start with business laws. Okay. So this is about your subject. This is about your subject, what we are going to study. Now to understand this subject, that is business laws, first we should know what is law. Yes or no? Okay. When this word law comes to your mind, what comes to your mind? What is this law? Rules, okay? Set of rules, good. Set of rules for what? For what? Set of rules for what? Okay, I'll give you one example. Okay, I'm going on a road. Okay, I'm going on a road. I saw this girl. She was carrying a purse. I like that girl's purse. I'm snatching that purse from her and I'm telling, I like this purse now. I'll take this purse. Can I do that? Can I do that? If there are no rules and regulations, then everybody will do whatever they want to do. Yes or no? I want to go to Sikandrabad. I am boarding a bus. I boarded a bus. Now the conductor is coming to me and telling me, come on, you have to pay the money and take the ticket. I am telling, no, I'll not take the ticket. You have to drop me to Sikandrabad and I'll not pay, I'll not take the ticket. What will that person do? He will throw me out of the bus. Yes or no? Yes or no? Can I do that? No. So, if there are no rules and regulations, then people in the society will do whatever they want to do. There will be conflicts. Now, if I'm snatching her purse, I will run away, she will also run after me. We both are going to pull each other's hair, we're going to fight. This is what will happen everywhere. Yes or no? There will be conflicts, there will be fights, there will be chaos in the society. So, for the smooth running of society, peaceful running of society, there has to be some rules and regulations. Yes or no? So, what is law? Law is nothing but it is system of rules and regulations to regulate the conduct of people in the society, to regulate the behavior of people in the society, to control their behavior, to control their conduct. For that, you need some rules and regulations. That is the reason there has to be this law. Got this point clear? Now you understood why this law is required. What is this law and why it is required? Did you understand that, everybody? Okay. Now, you understood why it is required. Okay. Now, how it is made? It is not that, okay, she is coming, he is coming and telling me, I want to make a law. I'll go and make a law. Can he do that? No. Each and everyone, normal people of the society, can you make laws and rules and regulations? No, we don't have that authority. They are people who are authorized and they only can make the rules and regulations. Yes or no? So who are those people? Who are those people who can make rules and regulations? Government. Government can make the regulations. So that is nothing but your central government. So at present, who is the central government? Who is the central government? BJP, Modi Sarkar. BJP is our central government. So the central government is having the right to make rules and regulations. Okay. So can you think this BJP, Modi sir, Narendra Modi, can he make all the rules and regulations? He is only the person who is going to make everything. Can he do that? One person, can he do everything? No, that is not possible. Therefore, central government have given is divided into various ministries. They are the people who are expert in that field. They are going to be head of that ministry. Say for example, you have defense. Defense. There is Ministry of Defense. There is Ministry of Finance. Okay. There is Ministry of Railways also. There is your Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay. There is Ministry for Health. Yes, education also. There is a Ministry for HRD, Human Resource Development. Okay. That is nothing but education comes under that HRD. Okay. So likewise, you have a lot of ministries. External Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs also you have. Culture, Home Affairs. Okay, you have another Home Affairs also, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs also. Okay, likewise you have lot of ministries. Okay, so what happens? Any rules are required to be made for a particular field. Those people are going to make the rules. Obviously, Modi is not going to do everything, right? Is he expert in everything? No. He is expert in management. He is managing everything. That is the reason he is good in management. But you need to have field knowledge also. Like finance and corporate affairs, everything is taken by Nirmala Sitharaman. She is going to see that. Your home affairs, who is that? Home affairs? Amit Shah. Amit Shah sees the home affairs. Likewise, you have lot of people lot of ministries and head of ministries, and under this head you have various heads who are expert. Again, you have a team of experts under them who are going to do all these things. So what these people do, these people see the society. They're going to see, say for example, before did we have a lot of usage of internet, Facebook, all those things? We didn't have. Now we are having. Therefore, they are helpful to us, but they are happening some crimes also happening here. Okay, there's hacking happens here. Okay, there are a lot of crimes that happens. So because of that, there are some cyber rules that is going to come into picture now. Before, did we have these cyber rules and regulations? No, because before the usage of this internet technology was very less. But as there is a need of this usage, the need for some rules and regulations is seen. So because of that, now what they do, they make a act which is known as Information Technology Act 2000, which is going to look after all these cyber laws, all crimes connected. They have some rules and regulations which we have to follow. If we don't follow, then we have to take the punishments. We'll have the punishments or fines, penalties. We'll have to pay that. Traffic rules also. Before, there was no the usage of vehicle was less, but as the time is passing, there is lot of use of vehicles. Different types of vehicles are coming here. There's lot of vehicles they are coming. So now we need new type of rules, traffic rules. Motor Vehicles Act is coming into picture because of that. So what they do, they see the society. They see the requirement, necessity, what is required in the society. They make those rules and regulations. Got this point clear? Now there's a lot of pollution which is happening because of there are a lot of industries. There's cutting of trees and a lot of vehicles which is running. Because of that, what is happening? There's a lot of pollution. So again, you have now Pollution Prevention Act which is coming into picture. Before, did we have that act? Before, they used bullock carts, rickshaws, all those things were used. But nowadays, what is used? And before, they were not handloom factories were there. Now there are a lot of factories which is what do you say, a lot of gases, smokes is coming out of those factories. A lot of pollution is happening. Therefore, now is there any requirement for now Pollution Prevention Act? Yes. For the betterment of society, that is required. So now they will come up with those act. Got this point clear? So law is not made without any reason. There should be some requirement. There should be some necessity, because of which now what comes into picture? Law. Rules and regulations come into picture. Got this point clear? So the head of the ministries will look into the society, will look the requirement, necessity. If it is required, then now the act will come into picture. Got this point clear? So this is how it is made. Now, what happens, how it is made generally. Say for example, now they wanted to make a new Companies Act. For companies, they wanted companies before there were small companies. Now they are very big, large companies. They want to make a new Companies Act. So now what will happen? Now the Ministry of Corporate Affairs will look into the society. They'll look into the society and they'll think, okay, now because there is a requirement in the society, let us now make a new Companies Act. Before you had Companies Act 1956, again you had your Companies Act 2013. Okay, the latest act. Why? Because there was a requirement of some changes as per the society. So what happened? Now what will happen? This Ministry of Corporate Affairs will make a rough copy of act. Rough copy of act. Rough copy of act or a draft. It is known as just a draft. This is known as bill. What is this known as? Bill. Now once they make the bill, they will send the bill to two houses of parliament, both the houses of parliament, that is your Lok Sabha and your Rajya Sabha. Okay. Now this bill is to be passed by both the houses of parliament. Passed means what? They should give the approval. Majority consent. Majority should say yes, this rules and regulations are to be followed by everyone in the society. They should give the approval. Once they give the approval, will it become the act? It will not become the act. It is to be passed by both the houses of parliament. One more formality is required. It is to be approved by President of India. Who is the President of India? Ramnath Kovind. So it is to be approved by President of India. Once it is approved by your President of India, then this bill will become an, what will it become? Once it becomes an act, you have to follow. Now, which act we are talking about? Companies Act. Every company will have to follow. You are an individual. You will also have to follow this? No. It is for whom? Companies. Companies will have to follow. Likewise, traffic rules. If you are driving a vehicle, you will have to follow. If you are just walking, do you have to follow? You have to follow, say, zebra crossing and all those things. But if it is something which is relating to just driving, that you need to carry your license, you need to drive a vehicle only once you are 18 plus, all those rules you will have to follow when you're driving a vehicle. When you're just walking, do you have to follow those rules? No. So if it is applicable to you, you have to follow. If it is not applicable to you, you don't have to follow it. Is this clear? Got this point clear? So now, did you understand what is law? Clear with this? Now, if you're clear with this, can we proceed further now? You understood what is law? You understood how it is made? You understood why it is made also? Why it is required? What is the necessity? And how it is made also? Clear with this, everybody? Good. Now, before coming to that point, what is that we are studying? What is that we are studying? Business laws. But till now, what did I tell you? What did I explain you? How law is made or how act is made. What did I tell you? Did we discuss something about law or did we discuss only about act? Act. So did you come to know what is law? You told yes, you know what is law also, no? Come on, tell me. What did we study till now? How act is made. So did I say anything about law also? Then we can proceed further now. Yes or no? Yes or no? You know what is law also? Where is your concentration levels? Tell me. Shall we now proceed for what is law? Yes or no? Sure. Law is nothing but, I didn't get one doubt also. Ma'am, you didn't say anything about law. You are just talking about act. Where did law go? Did you ask me? Now I understood. I can say whatever I want to say. Because no one is going to question me, right? I'm wrong also, no one is going to question me. I'm right also, no one is going to question me. Yes or no? Now I'll do that only now. Okay? Come on. No, don't worry. I'm not going to do that. My purpose is that you understand and you get good score. And I'll be proud actually. If you get good score, obviously it is proud moment for me only. I can go and say that my student got exemption, my student got a rank. Yes or no? So I'm teaching not for your benefit. I'm actually teaching for my benefit. Yes or no? I can be proud, I can say everybody, right? See, she's my student, she got a rank. He's my student, he got an exemption, he got a rank. Yes or no? So, obviously, I'm going to make sure that everything goes into your head properly. So that you can score good exemptions and ranks. Okay? Now, law. What is law? Law here is nothing but act plus rules plus case laws. Case laws. So what is that you mean by law? Law is nothing but law is act plus rules plus case laws. So seeing this, now can you tell me which is wider term, which is narrow term? Act is wider or law is wider? Law is wider. Many things are covered in law. Act is a narrow term. Okay, act is something which comes under law. Okay. Now, you know what is act? You can say yes now. Obviously, you know what is act. Everybody. What are rules now? Rules are nothing but, whenever there is a requirement in act that there can be some change, there can be some interpretation that can happen in future. See, it is not very easy to amend acts. Why? Because you have to make the act, then you have to send it to both the houses of parliament. Obviously, houses of parliament, you don't just have the ruling party, you also have the opposition party. So there is a lot of chaos that happens there. So it is not very easy to make act always. So for that, what they do, there are some places where they think that there can be some change which will be required in future. So now only what they mention a point, as may be prescribed. This point will be as may be prescribed, means in future, now it is like this, but in future it can change. So how can you change that? By rules. And who are the people who can make the rules? Central government. You don't have to send for this rules, you don't need any approval from both the houses of parliament. Central government, say if a corporate ministry of corporate affairs want to make some changes, they can make some changes as by giving a rule in the act. And where they can give a rule? Only at the place where as may be prescribed is given. When they prepare the act, they will not give as may be prescribed everywhere. No. Why? Because if that is the case, then whenever they want, they can change, right? Obviously, the opposition party in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha will oppose it. Yes or no? So only it is required, it is necessary, maybe in future it will be required, that places they'll give this word as may be prescribed. And that can be changed in future. How can that be changed? By just passing a rule. Rule is passed today, tomorrow it will be followed. Why? Because there is no approvals required, no approval of houses of parliament, no approval of president. Just central government will pass it and you will follow it. That is how it happens. For this point clear? That is nothing but rule. So, rules are to be read along with act. Along with act. Okay? Act you have to read, along with that you have to read the rules also. Okay? So, understood what is rules? Everybody. Now, what are these case laws? See, sometimes what happens, law is something which is not given in your simple English. Everything is given in legal terms. It is given in legal terms which is not understood by common people. That is the reason you need chartered accountants. That is the reason you need lawyers. That is the reason people go to courts. Why? Because they are not able to understand. There will be conflict. Income tax authority will say, because you are having this land, because you are doing agriculture here, you have to pay tax. That person will say, no, I will not pay tax because my land is here. So there will be some conflict. Why? Because for that point, the law is such which you are not able to understand. Income tax authority is thinking something else and you are thinking something else. The interpretation of law is not clear. So where will you go? You will go to court of laws. You know why courts are there? When there is dispute, there is fight, you go to court of law. What will court do? Sit down, have tea, coffee, tata, bye bye, go. That is what court will do? Obviously not. What is that they are going to do? They are going to give the decisions. Okay, you are saying this, you are saying this, you are wrong, you are right. Whatever you are saying is right. Now whatever you are saying, that was going to be applicable. So those are nothing but those are known as case laws. Okay. So case laws are nothing but they are judicial decisions. They are judicial decisions given by court of law. We are going to see many case laws also. Balfour versus Balfour and Moini Bibi versus Dharmadas Ghosh. So there are these two parties who are going to have the conflict. They are going to court of law, and what is the decision for that? We are going to see all those. Obviously, you don't have many case laws, but some case laws are covered for your foundation level also, which you are going to see. Okay. So understood what is case law? Case law is something where it is not easy for people to interpret the law. There's some difficulty. Why? Because law is not clear. It is not giving something, there is no clarity in that point. So because there is no clarity, obviously it is not made by machine or robot, right? Who is going to make this act, law, bill? Who is going to make human? So is it possible that there are some mistakes, there are some loopholes that will happen? Yes, they will go. They are going to miss some points also. So afterwards something happens, some fight happens, but law is not clear. Then what? Who will resolve that fight? Court of law. what is the decision of court of law? Now that decision is considered to be law. That is followed by everybody. Same, there was a conflict which happened between both of us. He said he's income tax officer. He said, imagine you're income tax officer, okay? You're income tax officer and you're saying me to pay tax. I'm saying no, I'm not liable. I will not pay tax for say agriculture property or some business. Okay, my business is in this area, so I don't have to pay tax. Okay, so there's some conflict that is happening. We both will go to court of law. Well, court is giving decision in this income tax officer's favor and saying that he is right. Now I will have to pay tax. You pay tax. Okay, the decision is final now. Now same thing happened between these both also. What is your name? Arif. Vinayak. Arif and Vinayak, both of these people also had the same case law. Now, do you think they will have to go to case court of law? No. Decision given in our case is now law. They will have to follow that decision. Do you think court is having so much of time to again pass same decisions? Obviously not. One decision is passed now, that is considered to be a case law which is going to be followed by every person who is having the same case. Got this point clear? Yes or no, everybody? That is what you mean by case laws. Clear? So understood now what is law? Now are you understood? Now clear? Now we can proceed, right? Understood what is law? Law is nothing but act plus rules plus case laws. You understood what is act? You understood what is a rule? You also understood what is a case law. Clear, everybody? Pakka. Chalo. Let us now proceed further. One more thing. Now, whenever you're going to see, now we're going to start an act. Whenever you're going to see an act, you will see as per section 2 or as per section 3 subsection 1 or as per section 4 subsection 1 clause A. What are all these things now? See, I'll just tell you simply how it is. Now you are having till now you have studied school, college, everything is over. You had your syllabus. Say if we see our law syllabus only, you have this law syllabus, or okay, I'll say accountancy syllabus you're having. In accountancy, you have various chapters. Okay, you have journals, you have ledger. They are all chapters, right? Different chapters you have. In those chapters, again you have subdivisions, small subheadings you have headings, then you have subheadings, then you have important points. Likewise, is everything divided or everything is given one place together? Everything is divided properly. So will that make it easy for you to learn or not? If everything is given at one place without any division, will it be easy? Journal, ledger, and your trial balance sheet, partnership act, everything is given at one place without any division. Everything is given same way without any division. Now you have to study something in your partnership act. Then you have to go on searching where it is partnership act. Yes or no? Will it become difficult? Yes. Same thing happens in your act also. Act is very bulky, and so many points are covered. Out of so many points, only some specific point is applicable to you. You want to only refer that point. So will you go on searching thousands and thousands of pages where my act is there? Till that time your case will also get over. Okay, you'll be sitting idle, nothing will happen now. The court will say no, your case is over now, time limit is over, now you cannot do anything. Yes or no? If you're a lawyer, say yes or no. So that is the reason what happens for systematic presentation of act is divided. How it is divided? Entire act is divided into various chapters. Okay, chapters are again divided into sections. Sections are, okay, I just want to give this at one place. We'll start from the beginning. Okay, say this is an act. This is an act. Act is divided into chapters. Okay, chapters are divided into sections. Sections are divided into subsections. Subsections are again divided into clauses. Clauses are again divided into subclauses. There's a lot more what you say classification, provisions you have, provisos you have, but at this point of time you don't require that. Foundation level, this much is enough. Okay, so entire act is divided in likewise. Now say we are talking about your Indian Contract Act. I'm writing short forms, but in your exam you cannot write short forms. Okay, you have to write the full form only. The Indian Contract Act 1872 chapter. How is chapter denoted? Roman number 1, 2. So how it is denoted? By Roman numbers. When some Roman number is given, then that is nothing but that is the chapter. Sections are denoted by numbers 1, 2, 3. Subsections are denoted by numbers in the brackets. Okay. Clauses are denoted by small alphabets. A, B in the brackets. Subclauses are denoted by small 1, 2, 3. Small 1, small 2 in brackets. This is how subclauses are divided. Now I'll tell you how you read this. Something is given here. Short form of section is SEC. How do you read this? Subclause 2 of clause A of subsection 2 of section 1. This is how it is read. Obviously, this is not your oral exam, so no one is going to ask you. Just for your information, I am telling you, for whom this is required, people who go to court of law and fight the cases. They have to quote the sections. So this is how it is quoted. It is in backwards. Okay. So if you're wrong, whenever you're talking, you made a mistake, you said section 1 of subsection 2, that is okay. You're not in the court of law, so no one is going to judge you. But if you're in the court of law, then they will disqualify. Why? Because that is not the correct section you're quoting. How it is to be quoted? It is to be quoted like this. Subclause 2 of clause A of subsection 2 of section 1. Understood? Clear the classification also? Okay. So what all will be covered so that you can have a doubt? Everything I have cleared. Now if we start the act, then you will understand everything. Why? Because without explaining this, if I start the act, then if I write, okay, as per clause A of section 2, this is this, then you will ask me what is this section, what is this clause, what is this bracket, what is that? Okay, so that is the reason I told you all these things before only. Now this is how we are going to deal with this topic law. Okay, clear? So I am done with the introduction part about what is law. Now coming to the main subject. We are going to start the first act of your business laws. What was the first act? The Indian Contract Act 1872. The Indian Contract Act 1870. See, as you know, this paper, business law and business correspondence and reporting, is totally a subjective paper. So, your presentation also matters a lot in this paper. It is not that however you want to write, you will write the paper. No. There is a presentation that you have to write. See, how much ever possible, you try to remember the sections. There are a lot of sections. Maybe you will remember, you may not remember at the time of exam. But this point of time, they're not going to, what do you say, cut any marks if you don't remember the section. If you remember, well and good, you will, that will give a good impression to the examiner. Yes, this student knows everything. So maybe leniently he may check the paper, not very strictly. So it will give a good impression. But if you don't know also, it is not going to make any difference. See, if something is asked in your Indian Contract Act, any point is asked, any topic is asked, and that topic is covered under some section. So generally you have to write as per section 2 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. You have to write the section. But if you don't remember the section, then if you don't remember the section, don't write the section, but you have to give the name of the act correctly. That is very important, that you should remember, that okay, whatever question is asked, that question is covered in this act. Why? Because you have 5 acts. Examiner should know that at least the student knows the act, which act this question is covered. So you can write as per a relevant section of Indian Contract Act 1872, as per a relevant section of the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Got this point clear? So you should remember the act name, and the act name should be such that all the first letters should be in the capitals. That is very important. Got this point clear? And obviously the year also. Everything is to be written. You cannot skip the Indian Contract Act 1872. No. Or the Indian Contract Act without the year. No. Entire name is to be written properly in your exam. That is very important. Okay, presentation is very important. Anyways, when we are going to conduct the exams, when you're going to write the answers, I will guide you for that also, how you're going to present. Why? Because you have to answer in paragraphs. Important words you need to underline so that it is easy for the examiner to read the answer. You know, it is very difficult for examiner also to read big papers, paragraphs and paragraphs of answers. When you make it easy, so it will be easy for him also. He can see the important points and give you the marks. Or if he wish to read, he can read also. Both the things can be done. So that is the reason presentation is very important when it comes to your subjective papers. Okay. So the Indian Contract Act 1872. Act is nothing but your act in law, not your actions in English. Act is having 2 meanings, yes or no? One meaning is act as per law, which we understood how act is passed. Another thing is this person is acting. See how this person is acting. See the act of this person. What does that mean? Actions. That is something else. Okay. So from this I just wanted to tell you this. In law you have legal meanings for everything. Maybe for English you have some different meaning, but in law you have a particular meaning. You have to go by that legal meaning only. Got this point clear? You cannot say that no, I know something else for this word. I will go with that only. No. Whatever is given in law, that only you have to follow. Say if law it is being told A plus B is equal to C. You can say A is equal to B minus C also. That is also right. But in law you cannot say that. In law A plus B is equal to C means A plus B is equal to C only. A plus A is equal to B minus C is not right. So what is given, you have to only follow that. You don't make your own interpretations. You don't make your own laws. Understood? What is given, that is only you have to follow. Understood everybody? Okay, so that is the reason it is very important that whenever you're studying this law, go home and once revise, once give a read, so that you don't forget. Whatever is given in the answer, you have, there are some places where you have to write exactly what is given. In your own words you cannot write. In your own words you can give the explanation also, but there are some definitions or something that you have to stick to that only. Okay, so it is better that you start from today only. It will take 15 minutes, but before exam if you read, then it will take hours and hours. So better to start from today. Yes or no? Go home, whatever we are studying, just give one or two read. Okay, it will take hardly 15 to 20 minutes. That much time you can spare. Everybody, yes or no? Okay. So this is the Indian Contract Act 1870. You have your materials, everybody? Okay. In all the acts, you have this section 1. Section 1. Section 1 is nothing but short title, extent, and applicability. What is your section 1? Section 1 is nothing but short title, extent, and applicability. Short title is nothing but, always short title of the act will be the name of the act. What is the name of the act? The Indian Contract Act 1872 is the short title of the act as per section 1 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Okay. Extent. Extent means what? Scope. Name itself is telling you. Areas to which it is applicable. Why? Because what is given here? Obviously Indian is given, that means it is extending to whole of India. So the Indian Contract Act is applicable to whole of India. You know, before Article 370, before that, you know about that, right? You know? Okay, in the constitution, there was this Article 370, because of which what happened? A special privilege was given to Jammu and Kashmir. What privilege was given to Jammu and Kashmir? They can make their own rules and regulation, own laws. But because of the removal of that article, now whatever act is applicable to India, that act is applicable to Jammu and Kashmir also. Why? Because it is a part of your India. That is what is considered. So that is the reason, before, before this amendment of this constitution, before that, there were some acts which was extends to whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But now nothing like that. All acts, they are applicable to whole of India. Okay. So this act also is applicable to whole of India. Applicability means what? Applicability means from which date it came into force. It came into force from 1st of September 1872. Came into force from which date? 1st of September 1872. Year is only here, they are telling you the same thing, right? The year 1872, why it is given? What is the reason of giving these years? These years are nothing but from this year it is applicable. That means if we both are entering into contract, say on 1st of September 1872 and after that, then this act will be applicable. These rules and regulations we will have to follow. Before that, if we have entered into contract, then will this be applicable? We don't have to follow any rules given in this act. Got this point clear, everybody? Yes, yes, okay. So applicability is nothing but from which date this act came into force. That is nothing but 1st of September 1872. So did you understand section 1? Everybody? What is section 1? Section 1 in almost all the acts. Indian Contract Act, Sale of Goods Act, Partnership Act, Companies, all the acts, it is going to be what? Short title, extent, applicability. What will be the short title? The Indian Contract Act 1872. For Sale of Goods Act, it will be the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Okay. And extent will be extends to whole of India. Applicability will be from which date it came into force. That is, here this act came into force from 1st of September 1872. Clear? Okay. Now, section 2. Let us come to your section 2. For all acts, this is also going to be same. What is section 2 for all the acts? It is nothing but it is the definitions. Why do you think definitions are required? Already we have dictionary. We have so many meanings given in dictionary. We can see the dictionary, but is it possible in law? What did I tell you just now in law? In law, there are some legal terms given, legal meanings given. You have to follow only those meanings. You cannot use your English meanings. That is the reason what are they doing? In the act itself, they are going to give you the meanings of some terms which are important for you to understand the act. So that are going to come under your definitions. So these definitions you cannot change. Where there is a, there has to be a. Where there is the, there has to be the. Where there is a comma, there has to be a comma. Same thing you have to reproduce. Again, okay? You cannot make your own definitions here. Understood? Yes or no? Okay. So section 2 in all the acts will be definitions only. So in your Indian Contract Act also it is definition only. Now if we see the name of the act, the Indian Contract Act 1872. Okay, you know why this word Indian is given. Why it is given Indian? Whole of India. Why this act is given? It is an act passed by the government, parliament, yes or no? Why this 1872 is given? It is applicable from that date, that year, yes or no? Now, we have to understand very important term, that is nothing but, what is that? Contract. What is a contract? This word contract, when it comes to your mind, what is that you think? What is this contract? Agreement. Anything else? Agreement. Yes, agreement is right. Anything else? What is a contract? Contract is an agreement. Contract is a transaction. Contract is a deal. All these things come to your mind, yes or no? But can you write those for your contract in law? No. Why? Because in law, obviously there is a definition given for this word contract also. So you have to stick to that word and you have to understand as it is. Okay? Go on. Now let us understand that. Contract. This term contract is defined in clause H of section 2 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. So it is defined in what? Clause H of section 2. So as per your clause H of section 2, contract is nothing but, contract is an, very good, an agreement enforceable by law. So what is a contract? Contract is nothing but an agreement enforceable by law. Obviously when you read this, you will not understand it properly. Why? Because there are some terms which we have to understand. Okay. See, law is something which is not easily understood by a common man. If you go to a person who is an engineer of science background, if you tell that person to explain you what is law, can that person explain you? No. That is the reason they are experts. They are chartered accountants, they are company secretaries, they are advocates, they are lawyers, they are judicial people who can interpret law properly. It is not understood by a common man. Okay, so you have to understand it. Now, what is this? An agreement enforceable by law. For understanding this, first you have to again understand some more definitions which we are going to see now. So before that, let us first come to definition. What definition we are going to see? Definition of proposal and offer. Before starting this, I just want to give you one example. Let us now see the example. Understand the example, it is very simple. Then we are going to see the definition. There is this person X. There is this person Y. X is having a car which X wants to sell to Y for say 5 lakh rupees. What is X having? X having a car, X wants to give the car to Y, and what is that X wants in return of car? He wants 5 lakh rupees in return of that car. Okay. What is a proposal? Who is going to read this for me? Come on fast. Loudly, loudly. So what is a proposal? Proposal is nothing but a person is said to make a proposal when he signifies to another his willingness to do or abstain from doing something with a view to obtain the assent of that other to such act or abstinence. He is said to make a proposal. Did you understand? Did you understand? Was it simple? It is not going to be simple. Why? Because this is a legal term, legal definition, which is not understood by common people. Understood? Now let us understand this. A person is said to make a proposal when he signifies. What does that you mean by this word signify? Signify is nothing but signify means to communicate. What does that you mean by this word signify? To communicate. Signify is to communicate. When a person is said to make a proposal when he signifies to another his willingness. What does that you mean by willingness? Your wish. Wish. You are having some wish to do. Yes. That is nothing but your willingness. So what is that you're communicating to another person? Your wish. I want to do this for you. Okay. So that is nothing but that is your willingness to do or to abstain. Now what does that you mean by abstain? To stop oneself. What is that you mean by abstain? To stop. Here this proposal is covering two parts. Positive also, negative also. Positive is what? To do something. Negative is what? Not to do something. I am stopping to do this for you. For you I am not going to do this. Because you don't like this, I am not going to do this. Yes or no? So you are doing something for a person and also you are not doing something for a person. That is also covered in your offer. Don't worry, I'll give you example for that also. With a view to obtain the assent. Assent is what? Assent is nothing but consent. Saying a yes. What is that you mean by assent? To say a yes of that other to such act or abstinence. Let us come to this example again. X is having what I told you? Car. Now this X, this person X, is he having some wish? What is his wish? His wish is that he wants to sell the car to Y. and he wants 5 lakhs in return for the car. That is his wish. So is he communicating that to Y? Yes, he's telling why, I have a car which I don't want. You take the car. I'm going to sell that car to you. You give me 5 lakh rupees. So is he communicating his wish? Yes. He's communicating his wish to do something or not to do something here? To do something. So this is an example for positive part. To do something. With a view to obtain assent of that other. Now, say X here wants to sell the car to Y. So is X thinking, please Y, please say or no, say that no, I don't want to purchase the car. Will you think that, or he will think, please X say yes. Obviously, what is that he wants answer from Y? He wants Y to say yes, I will purchase a car for 5 lakh rupees. So is he thinking that Y will say or no, or Y will say yes? Y will say yes. He always wants to obtain a yes from the other person. Got this point clear, everybody? Yes or no? Is there any doubt till now? To such act or abstinence, then he is said to make a proposal. So proposal here is nothing but proposal, or you can say offer, which is a part of a contract, which is very important part of a contract. In contract, there has to be this offer. Got this point clear? So now, what is offer? What is proposal? Who is going to tell me? Read the definition. Everybody read the definition again. Loudly. When he signifies to do, or he said to me. Understood now? Understood what is a proposal? Yes or no? From this example, did you understand this? Here X is signifying his willingness to another with a view to obtain the assent of that other. To do something with a view to obtain the assent of the other to such act or abstinence. Now this point clear? Now let us see another example. I'm not going to write. I'm just going to tell you. Understand it properly. Say, what is your name? Amir. Amir is running a coaching class in Himayatnagar. He is running a coaching class which is doing really good. Very good. He is having 100 students. Very good it is running. He is running that coaching class. I am also a chartered accountant. I also want to run a coaching class. I am good. I am a rank holder. I have good communication skills. So I also wanted to start. I also started my coaching class at Himayatnagar only. Okay. Now, obviously, he is being running that coaching classes from past 5 to 6 years. He is having 100 students. I started the classes. Now I have somewhere around 20 to 25 students. Got this point clear? He is having somewhere around 80 students now. Because 20 students came to me. Got this point clear? Now, I have to pay the rent for the room, I have to pay the electricity, I have to pay the printing charges, everything. So it is costing me high, but whatever I am getting is not sufficient for me. Okay. And is he also bearing some loss? Loss of what? Loss of 20 students. I went to him. I told him, see, I will stop taking my classes. What will I do? I will stop taking my classes. You pay me a lump sum of 35,000 rupees. So, is there some willingness, some wish that I am offering him? Am I giving him some offer? What is the offer I am giving him? To do something or not to do something? To do something is? Am I telling him that I will stop doing something, or I am telling him I'll do something? Obviously, so what is this? This is a negative thing or a positive thing? Got this point clear? Yes or no? The car example was what? I will do something. But here I am telling what? I will stop doing something for you. I will stop taking classes for you. You will have benefit or not? What benefit you will have? 20 students. Is there any cost you will bear? Anyways, for 80 students you are paying the rent. Anyways, for 80 students you are paying the electricity. Extra cost you will not have, but you will have extra benefit, profit. Yes. So you will say a yes. Say you will say a yes. So am I signifying my willingness to you? What is my intention? That you should say a yes to my willingness. This is also considered to be an offer. Got this point clear? To do something or to stop doing something or not to do something will also come under offer. Understood? Yes or no? See, I'm just talking about this coaching classes. It can be for any business also. See, there are competitors. One business person is coming and telling that you pay me this much lump sum money, I'll stop my shop here. I'll start somewhere else. That can be possible. Yes or no? Yes. So here also offer is for what? Offer is to stop doing something. That will also come under what? Your offer definition only. So what is the definition of offer? The offer is nothing but when a person signifies his willingness to do or to abstain for doing something with a view to obtain the assent of that other to such act or abstinence. I want you to say a yes for that act also. I want you to say yes for that abstinence also. Okay, I'm stopping something. For that also I want you to say yes. Yes, if you stop taking classes, I will pay you 35,000 rupees. That is only my intention. Will I think, no, no, please say a no. Say that you do, you carry on your classes. I will not play anything. Will you think that? Will I think that? No. I always want you to say a yes. Got this point clear? Understood? This is the definition for proposal. Or you can say offer. Offer is nothing but it is proposal only. So, which section it is covered? Clause A of section 2. Okay, clause A of section 2 of your Indian Contract Act 1872 covers the definition of offer or proposal. Got this point clear? Okay. Now, what happened? There's some problem. उनको बुला प्रॉब्लम है बोलो स्क्रीन What happened? Yes. Understood till now? Clear? क्या करूं नहीं है उम्र देखिए चार्जिंग खत्म हो गई क्या कुछ कौन निकाले वो चार्ज नहीं था क्या लगा हुआ? 2828. Okay. So did you understand now? Everybody, definition of proposal? Yes or no? So what is, in which section proposal is defined? Clause A of section 2. As per clause A of section 2, what is the proposal? Tell me loudly, everybody. Come on, repeat. Come on. When a person or abstain from doing, abstinence. Understood? Yes or no, everybody? To do or abstain from doing also you understood, right? Now let us come to another definition. To understand this term contract, first you have to understand all these definitions. Then only you will understand what is that you mean by a contract. Next definition is definition of promise. This definition of promise is also the definition for acceptance. Either it is promise or it is acceptance also. So as per clause B of section 2 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, promise or acceptance is defined as when a person to whom proposal is made, when a person to whom proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. Proposal accepted becomes a promise. Accepted proposal becomes a promise. The term signifies here also means what? To communicate. Signifies here also means to communicate. His assent thereto. That means he is communicating what? He is communicating his consent. He is saying a yes. He is agreeing to something. So what is that he is communicating? He is communicating his yes. He is communicating his agreement for something. The proposal is said to be accepted. Accepted proposal always becomes a promise. Now again let us come to our example of this car. Now here who is making the proposal here? X is making the proposal to Y. So here what should Y do? The person to whom proposal is made. Here who is that person to whom proposal is made? Y. This person Y to whom proposal is made, he is signifying, he is communicating what? He is communicating his yes. He is communicating his agreement to the other. Who is this other person here? X. The person who made the proposal. So here there are two parties. One party is a party who is making the proposal and another party is the party to whom proposal is made. Yes or no? So here, who should give the acceptance? Acceptance is to be given by the party to whom proposal is made. Here that party is Y. Yes or no? So, the person to whom proposal is made, what is signifying what? Is signifying his assent thereto, then the proposal is said to be accepted. Once the proposal is accepted, it is no more a proposal, this proposal of y will now become what? This proposal of y will become now promise. Got this point clear? So is there any proposal now left here? It is there. There is only now promise. Now what is that you mean by promise? Promise is nothing but wholehearted commitment. I promise that I will take you to the party. I promise that I will take you to the movie. But we will break our promises. Yes or no? I told that I promise I'll not take you anywhere. Do whatever you want to do. I promise, but I will not obey my promise now. Can I say so? Yes or no? But in the contract act, can you say that? No. Once it becomes a promise, now you will have to perform. Now you will have to give the car. If you don't give the car, then bear the punishments, pay the fines, pay the penalties. For this point clear? But is that in our normal day-to-day life? If I am promising that I'll take you to dinner, I'm not taking, then I will have to pay the fines, penalties? Obviously not. So that is the difference between our common day-to-day activities and your legal law terms. Okay. So now what happens? Proposal once accepted, it becomes a promise. Now X cannot say a no. X cannot say no, I thought that I will sell you car, but now I don't want to sell. Can he say that? If he says that, then then Y will take him to the court of law. Then he will have to bear the punishments. Got this point clear? So what is acceptance? What is promise? It is defined in which section? Clause B of section 2. As per clause B of section 2, what is that you mean by acceptance? When the person to whom proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. Accepted proposal becomes a promise. For this point clear? Everybody, yes or no? So now you have understood what is that you mean by proposal and what is that you mean by acceptance. Now, coming to another definition, all these definitions we are going to see future, other units. What is required for you to understand the term contract? Only those definitions we are going to see now. So now another definition is what? Agreement. Every promise, set of promises forming consideration for each other is an agreement. Every promise, set of promise forming consideration for each other is considered to be what here? Agreement. Understood? Who will explain now? Understood or not? Yes, explain then. Come on. Who is going to explain? Every promise, set of promise forming consideration for each other, agreement. Who understood? Come on, you just now everyone told me that you have understood. Now no one is able to answer. Explain me. You understood, right? What did you understand from this definition now? Come on. If you understood, you say yes. If you don't understand, please say a no also. You can say. Always it is not that you should say a yes only. Yes, yes, I have understood. Yes, yes, I have understood. Obviously, I told you definitions are what? Legal terms. They are not understood by common man. Normal languages, English language, you will not understand that. Okay? Every promise, set of promises forming consideration for each other. Did you understand the term promise? Now let us understand what is that you mean by this term consideration. Your unit 2 of Indian Contract Act talks about consideration. There we are going to see consideration in detail. Now I'll just give you a brief meaning of this consideration, which is nothing but something in return. What is consideration? Something in return. Here, see, normally in normal life, I am going to promise you. I promise that I will I will gift you a pen, or I promise I will gift you a mobile phone. Okay, am I expecting something that you should also give me for my promise? Obviously not. But in law, always what happens, whenever I am giving any promise to you, I am expecting something in return for that promise. And that something in return is what? It is considered to be what here? Consideration. Let us now again go to our example. In our example, there is a promise made by X. What is his promise? I will give you my car. That is what he said. But is he giving that promise without taking something in return, or he's taking something in return? What is that he's taking in return? 5 lakh rupees. That 5 lakh rupees is nothing but consideration. Understood? Now, whatever you have understood is just half knowledge, not the full knowledge. Now, let me explain you this. Whenever there are agreements, there are offer and proposals made. Offer is made. What happens? That offer is accepted. Yes or no? Once that offer is accepted, what will come into picture here? Promise. Now, what is law telling you? Each party will plays two roles. What are the two roles they play? X here is a promiser also. X here is a promisee also. Who is a promiser? The person who gives the promise is the promiser. Who is the promisee? The person who enjoys that promise is the promise. Obviously, when I am promising I will give you car, is there some burden on me? Yes, yes. The burden is to give you the car. But is there any benefit for you? Your benefit is that you're going to enjoy the car. So promiser is having a you know what is a liability, right? Liability is something to be performed. Yes or no? Okay. So promiser is having a liability and promisee is having a right. Understood? Promiser is having a duty and promisee is having a right. Understood? So here promiser will what? Promiser will perform his duty. It is enjoyed by promisee as his right. Got this point clear? Whatever is the duty of promiser, that duty becomes right for the promisee. So here also, both the parties play two roles. Here X is a promiser also, promisee also, where he is going to enjoy a right and he is going to have the liability of a duty also. Now how it is? Let me tell you. What is the duty of X here? To give the car. What is the right of Y here? To take the car. What is the right of X here? To get 5 lakh rupees. What is the duty of Y here? To give 5 lakh rupees. Got this point clear? Yes or no? So, here both the parties are playing two roles. So, what is an agreement? Now, let us again come to the definition. Every promise, set of promises forming consideration for each other. Whatever promise, what is the promise for X? Car. Is that not the consideration for Y? Is that not his right? Car is the duty of whom? But that is becoming right of whom? Y. And 5 lakh rupees is duty of whom? Y. And that is becoming a right of X. So here, duty is nothing but promise. Right is nothing but consideration. Duty is nothing but promise. Right is nothing but consideration. Now if you see here, X promise is becoming Y's consideration. Y's promise is becoming X's consideration. What is X's promise? That is consideration for Y. What is Y's promise? 5 lakh rupees is consideration for X. What is agreement? Every promise, set of promise forming consideration for each other. My promise is your consideration, your promise is my consideration. We have now entered into a contract. Sorry, agreement, sorry, not contract. Still we didn't come to that point, contract, okay? We need to know something else also for contract. Now we have entered into what? An agreement. Clear with this? Everybody? Yes or no? Okay. So this is nothing but this is an agreement. Agreement is defined in which section? Clause E of section 2 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. As per that clause E of section 2, what is an agreement? Every promise or set of promises forming consideration for each other. Please everybody make the note of the examples. Whatever examples I give you, make a note. See, if mostly I'll write down the examples, but sometimes I give the examples orally also. For example, in that proposal, abstain, I gave orally. Make a note of that also in your own words. Why? Because now you will understand. But whenever you study after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you will forget it. If you have that written, then it will be easy for you. Always to refer. So please try to make the notes. Notes anyways you are having, but you are not having examples. So all the examples are to be written by you in your note, either material if you have place. If you want to write in the material, you can write. Otherwise, make a notebook, a nice notebook. You can write examples, and you can write the proposal ka example, acceptance ka example. So in that way you can write. So please make a note of examples. Why? Because law, it is not easy for you to understand without examples. And for every topic, I'm going to give you one example so that you understand it properly. Without examples, you're not going to understand it. Okay? So it is always better to write the examples. Okay? These examples are examples where you will not find it anywhere. Neither this material nor your institute's material also. Okay? You will have some examples which are some other examples, but not these examples. Okay? So you can make a note of these examples. Clear with this, everybody? So what are the definitions that we have seen? We have seen the definition of proposal. We have seen the definition of promise. We have seen the definition of agreement. Okay. Now let us come again to the main point. What is the main point that we were discussing? Contract. What is a contract? An agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So in this you again have two parts. Agreement and enforceable by law. Agreement, did you understand? Yes or no? Now what is that you have to understand? Enforceable by law. Now before going to this term enforceable by law, I just want to tell you some more points. Okay. In short, agreement is nothing but agreement is equal to offer plus acceptance. What is an agreement? Offer plus acceptance. There has to be an offer, and that offer needs to be accepted. Then what will come into picture? Your agreement. Okay. So agreement in short is nothing but offer plus acceptance. Now before understanding this term contract, we are going to just see what is an agreement, what is a contract, and what is the difference between both. Once you see the difference between both, then you will understand. Now you only tell me, what is a contract? Just now we have studied. Agreement enforceable by law. What is agreement? Agreement is every promise, set of promise forming consideration for each other. Is there any enforceability of law that is coming in agreement? No. Okay. Say for example, I want to call my friend for dinner. Okay. So I'm having holidays and I'm having a lot of free time. I'm calling my friend and I'm telling, please come to my place for dinner tomorrow. Tomorrow 7 p.m. you come to my place for dinner. My friend said, yes, definitely I will come to your place for dinner tomorrow 7 p.m. So I made all the arrangements. I made some 5 to 6 dishes. I decorated my house. Everything, all the arrangements I made. Okay, 7 o'clock, I got a call from my friend. Sorry, I cannot come to your place for dinner. Now, I made an offer. There was a willingness that I had. My wish. My wish, was that wish accepted also? It was accepted. I had a wish, and did my friend said a yes to my wish? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, that friend said a yes also. My offer was accepted. Now, is there any agreement between us? Is there any agreement between us? Yes or no? Is there offer and acceptance here? Is there offer and acceptance? Yes, therefore there is an agreement. Got this point clear? Offer, acceptance, there is an agreement. But what is missing here? Enforceability of law. What is this enforceability of law? Now, because my friend did not come to my place for dinner, can I go to court of law and file a complaint? See, court of law. My lord, this person I called for dinner, I made all the arrangements, this person did not come, now punish this person. Can I go? What will court say? Get out, go to mental hospital. Yes or no? Obviously, they don't have those so much of time. Why? Because the agreement which we made was not enforceable by law. What is that you mean by now this term enforceable by law? So, contract, which is defined in clause H of section 2, is having two things. There has to be an agreement, plus there has to be enforceable by law. Agreement plus enforceable by law. So the example which I gave you, was there any agreement? That means, was there an offer and acceptance? There was offer, there was acceptance, but was there this? It was missing. If it is missing, then it is not a contract, it is only an agreement. For this point clear? What is an agreement? Two parties agreeing to something is an agreement. I want to do that, you are also saying yes, let us do that. We both are agreeing on a same thing, agreement. But is it a contract? Only when it will become a contract when it is enforceable by law. What is that you mean by enforceable by law? Support of law. You need to have support of law, or you can say force of law. Law will force you. You have to do it. You have to now sell the car. You have to now pay 5 lakh rupees. There is a force of law. Then only it is considered to be what? Enforceable by law. Otherwise, if you don't have support of law to an agreement, it is just an agreement, but it is not a contract. Clear with this? Everybody? Okay. So, another thing. Just now, whatever we discussed, the friend inviting for dinner, the friend not turning up for dinner, another friend, is considered to be a social agreement. It is considered to be what? A social agreement. Say a husband promised to wife, tomorrow is our anniversary. I am going to get a diamond ring for you. This was the promise made by husband to wife. Anniversary day came. Husband was very busy at the office. He got scoldings from the boss also. He was very depressed. What did he do? Forgot to get the ring. He came home empty hand. Now wife made all the arrangements, decorated the house, made nice dishes for husband. But husband came empty hand. Now wife is waiting. Now husband will take the ring and give the ring to the wife. But did he give? He forgot. Wife got angry. Now I will go to court of law. I am going to court of law, filing a case against you. Will court accept? Will court support that? No. It was just an agreement. Husband promised, gave an offer. Wife accepted. Yes, I will make all the arrangements. You get the diamond ring. Offer and acceptance. But is there any support of law? Is there any enforceability of law? No. So that is an agreement, but that is not a contract. So those type of agreements are known as what? domestic agreements. Between family members and all, whatever you have, those agreements are generally domestic. Friends and companions, all those things, that those agreements are like social agreements. But both are having same effect. What is the effect? Not enforceable in the court of law. Same with another type, religious agreements are there, or some agreements there where the court will not support. Those type of agreements are not considered to be agreements, they're only contracts. Now think properly and tell me. I don't want haphazard answers without thinking. Think properly and tell me which is a wider term. Agreement is wider or contract is wider? Think properly. Tell me. Contract is wider. Everybody is saying contract is wider. Some other thing? Contract, 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 contract. Contract is wider. Everyone is wrong. How contract is wider? Many things are covered in which term? This is agreement. Okay. In agreement, you have social agreement, you have domestic agreements, you have religious agreements, you have legal agreements, but only legal agreements are considered to be contracts. Rest all are only agreements. Are they contracts? Now you tell me which is wider term. Agreements. Agreement is covering many things. It is having social, it is having domestic, it is having religious, it is having all types of agreements. But only legal agreement is considered to be contracts. So which is narrow term? Contract is a narrow term, agreement is a wider term. Understood? Why didn't you think then? Did you understand this point or not? Did you understand or you didn't understand? Then why did you say? Why didn't you say? Because, huh? Here I am not saying support of law. Wider and narrow term means what? Many things are covered in this, which is considered to be wider term. Only very limited things can come under that. That is narrow term. Understood? I am not telling you, tell me something which is legal. So are you saying that social agreements, domestic agreements, these agreements, they don't take place? They obviously take place. They are happening. Yes or no? But they are only agreements. Yes or no? So only because there is support of law, it will not become wider. Everything is included there. Very limited. Law is going to support only very limited things. They are not going to support each and everything. Got this point clear? Yes or no? Okay. So if I tell you this, all contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contracts. Explain. I'll write this. All contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contracts. Yes or no? Is that true or not? All contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contracts. Obviously, for a contract to be a contract, first it has to be what? Agreement. Offer acceptance. Then only it can become a contract. But all agreements, are they contracts? Why? Because in agreements you have social also, you have domestic also, you have religious also, you have legal also. Only legal are considered to be contracts. All agreements are contracts? No. So you will get these kind of questions. They are going to give the statement, all contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contract. Explain. So you have to give the definition of contract, you have to give the definition of agreement, you have to give the relationship between the both, explain what is social, domestic and religious. All these are agreements, but they are not contracts, and give the difference between both. You have to make the tabular form. difference between contract agreement, which is given in your material also, that you have to give. For this point clear? So these type of questions will come. Okay? Understood till now, everybody? Yes or no? So understood the difference between agreement and a contract? What is an agreement? Agreement is offer and acceptance. Wherever there is offer, acceptance, agreement. But in contract, offer also, acceptance also, and enforceability of law also. Then only it will become a contract. There are few technical terms given, which is obviously something which has not come in the exam. I just wanted to give you, I gave you. There's a particular topic where these terms will come. Better I explain you now only. So these technical terms are just in person. There is no gap between N and A. Okay, you can remove the gap. This is personam. Together it should be. Just in personam, just in rem, consensus ad idiom. These are nothing but these are Latin terms. These are Latin terms. English meaning is what? Just, and this, it is not just. You remove T. Both the T's you remove. Just, J-U-S. Just in personam, just in rem. Consensus ad idiom. Just in personam means what? Right against a particular person. This type of right is given to you in your Contract Act. What type of right is this Contract Act giving you? Just in personam. A person is giving me a promise. Now I have right against that person. When will I have that right? That person gave me the promise that he will sell the car. Now that person is not performing the promise. Then I will have the right against that person to take that person to court of law. To punish that person I have right. So I have a right against a person. What is that right known as? That right is known as just in personam. So just in personam is what right? If you have a right against a particular person. That right is known as what? Just in personam. Just in rem is nothing but, just in rem is right against a thing, right against a thing, against the entire world. These types of rights are generally created in Sale of Goods Act. Not in your Contract Act, but your Sale of Goods Act, which we are going to study. This is your second act, the Sale of Goods Act 1930. What is the right given to a person in this act? Right against a thing. A person is going to have the right against the thing which he had purchased. I have paid a price and purchased something, then I have right against that thing. For this point clear? So that right is going to be seen where? Sale of Goods Act. Consensus ad idiom. What is consensus ad idiom? Thinking same thing in the same sense. Meeting of minds. Without consensus ad idiom, there will not be any contract. That means same. I'll just give you an example. I'm not writing the example. I'm just telling you so understand it properly. I am a person. What is your name? Samir. I am a person. I have 5 cars. One red color car, blue color car, black color car, white color car, and say golden color car. 5 cars I'm having. Okay. I am going and telling this person that I want to sell you my car which is in that go down A. In that go down A, I have my black color car. Okay. But this person is thinking, okay, she wants to sell me red color car. Yes, I want to purchase red color car. He is telling a yes for which car? But I am giving a proposal for which car? That. Is there meeting of mind? Is there consensus ad idiom? Are we thinking same thing in the same sense? No. There is no contract. Got this point clear? So for a contract, always there has to be very important point is this consensus and idiom. Both the parties should think same thing in the same sense. What is these things? These are nothing but these are the what do you say? Your contract, points in the contract, all the specific points, offers, everything, whatever is there in the contract, that should be clear with both the parties. Whatever I am thinking, same thing the other party also should think. Then only there's a contract. Otherwise, no. Got this point clear? Yes or no? So understood these technical terms? What are these technical terms? Just in personam, that is nothing but right against a particular person. Just in rem, that is nothing but right against a thing, against the entire world. Consensus and idiom, thinking same thing in the same sense. Meeting of minds. Clear? Okay. Okay, so we have covered this technical terms. We have also covered the definition of contract. Understood, everybody? It contains two essential elements. What are those two essential elements? Agreement and enforceability by law. Okay, agreement also you have understood. Agreement is every promise, set of promise forming consideration for each other. In short, offer plus acceptance. Difference between contract and agreement. Now let us just read this month. Anyways, once you have understood agreement and contract, this is nothing. It is going to be understood by easily. So what is an agreement? Definition: every promise, set of promise forming consideration for each other. What is a contract? Agreement enforceable by law. So here you have to add this point and. Okay, why? Because definition should be as it is. There should not be any change. So here, in definition, an agreement enforceable by law is a contract. I also explain you which is wider term. Agreement is wider. So it's wider including both legal and social. And it is narrow, only it is what is covered here? Legal agreements. Legal obligation may or may not create legal obligation. You tell me when it will create legal obligation? Agreement? And for very good, enforceable by law. Agreement, when it is legal agreement, when it is enforceable by law, it will create a legal obligation. You have to do it. What is obligation? It is a duty. You have to do it. But when it will not create any legal obligation, when it is social or domestic, no legal obligation. You may do, you may not do, no one will force you to do. Obviously, your wife may force you to do. That is some other thing. But who will not force? Law will not force. Okay? Yes. What is the nature? All agreements are not contracts. All contracts are agreements. Did you understand this also, everybody? So whenever you get this question, as I told you just now, that all contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contracts, explain. You have to give these differences also. You have to learn these also. Okay. Now, so we have seen this contract, right? In contract, what are the two essential elements that we have seen in contract? There has to be agreement and there has to be enforceable by law. Now, what is law giving you? For an agreement to be enforceable by law, there are some essential elements that is to be satisfied. Some essential elements are to be present where? In this agreement. If it is present in this agreement, these essential elements, then only it will be what? Agreement will be enforceable by law. So there are some essential elements which are required to be present in the agreement for that agreement to become a contract, that is for that agreement to be enforceable by law. Essential agreements are covered under 2. Given under Section 10 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, not given under Section 10 of Indian Contract Act 1872. Now you tell me, given under Section 10 means what? Obviously it is given in the Act. Why? Because it is telling that it is where? In the Act, Section 10, if you see what is given, essential elements. But there are some more essential elements. What are they saying? Not given. So where is it given? Where is it given? Case laws. There are some case laws. What happened? Law did not give anything. But once law was passed, there were new cases coming. Okay, this happened, now what? Law is not telling anything about it, but this situation happened. They went to court of law. Court gave a decision. Now that decision became a law. So likewise, the essential elements, law is giving only 5 essential elements under Section 10. But total how many essential elements you have? 10. Another 5 is given where? Not given under Section 10. That means there are various case laws. Some situation is in your material also. For this 5, everywhere there is no case law given. Somewhere it is not required. It is just general that it has to be there. That is the reason it is essential element. But some places there was a case law because of which it has become an essential element. Okay. So that is given here. So 5 are given here, 5 are given here. So total how many essential elements are to be covered? You have total 10 essential elements to be covered. That is to be present where? To be present in the agreement. If all these 10 things are there in the agreement, then this agreement is considered to be what? Enforceable by law. Out of this 10, any one is missing. 9 essential elements are present. One is missing. Then not enforceable by law. It will only be an agreement. It will not become a contract. For an agreement to become a contract, all essential elements are required to be present. Understood? These essential elements we are going to see afterwards in the next class. Okay. Now I just want to tell you, the Contract Act which we are going to cover is not your entire Contract Act. Contract Act is very huge. It is not whatever is given in a foundation, that is not entire Contract Act. Your entire Contract Act is divided into 2 parts. Okay. Your Contract Act is having 2 parts. You have general contracts and you have special contracts. So whatever is covered is only your general contract. Special contracts are covered in your intermediate. You have your contract of indemnity, contract of agency, pledge, bailment. Anyways, if these terms, there are 2-3 terms which are used now also, which I am going to explain you briefly, but in detail you are going to study only in your intermediate. Now what are you going to study? You are going to only study your general contracts. That is general contracts which you are going to study, special contracts which you are not going to study. Okay. That is, you are going to study only till 1 to 75. 124 to 238 is covered under special contracts. Now you should get a doubt. Contract Act is having how many sections? 1 to 75 and 124 to 238. What about 76 to 123? What happened? Did they remove it? Before when Contract Act was made, sale of goods, all the sale contract and partnership contract also was in the Contract Act. You had only one Contract Act where you had general contracts, sale of goods act, partnership act as well as the special contracts. It became very bulky and there are so many partnership firms opening and there are so many sale transactions happening nowadays that the government thought that it is better that we make separate acts. So what did they do? They removed the sale of goods part from Contract Act and made a new act, the Sale of Goods Act 1930, and they removed the partnership part from the Indian Contract Act and they made a new act, the Indian Partnership Act 1932. So what did they do? They removed these acts and some more things they added and they made entirely a new act. So now in your Contract Act you have only sections 1 to 75 and sections 124 to 238. Section 1 to 75 is your general contracts which you are going to cover in your foundation level, and 124 to 138 in your intermediate level, not in your foundation level. Okay, clear? Okay, so for today we are going to stop here. Now next class we are going to see the essential elements. I just hope that everyone has understood everything clearly. Yes or no? I want everyone to go home and please read once. Whatever we have, you have the material, right? So please read once, whatever, once or twice you read. And why? Because law, you know, everything is related, connected to each other. If you don't remember whatever we have studied here, next classes you will not understand. Everything is interconnected to each other. Okay, so you have to be thorough, and if I ask you, I don't get the answer, that student will be out of the class. Okay, I want answers from everybody. If I ask any question from any before topics which we have studied, I want answers from you. So you have to go home and study. Okay, clear? Okay. So let us stop here for today.